And speaking of Leon Rose and some of his conundrums, man, Mitchell Robinson is making a case to get his fucking money. Man, he is balling out right now. After years of inconsistency due to injuries and just him not, understanding the game at the NBA level, Mitchell Robinson now is beginning to enter the early stages of just DeAndre Jordan before he started making a name for himself. When he started getting those double doubles, Mitch is starting to do that on a consistent basis. And I guess the weight, he's used to having that weight on him, or he just got into better shape. But he is making a ridiculous case to get that money, and he's putting Leon Rose in that position, boy, because Leon Rose, he also got to pay RJ Barrett. And the Knicks are not trying to get too stuck up on the cap with a lot of positions to still fill up, especially at that point guard role. But Mitchell Robinson and his camp, they've been in touch with the Knicks all season negotiating, and they are not close to terms at all. And once again, the Knicks did choose to opt into Mitchell Robinson's, I guess, two-way contract, in which they pay him a very low minimum. The Knicks have been getting Mitch to grind for them for about 2 seasons now for very little money. So you already know Mitchell Robinson is looking to get paid. And Mitch, of course, man, he's going to have some support to make his case, because I always tell you guys, pay attention to the marketplace, what's going on with other players, how much they're getting paid. Because sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to do with what the person could do on the court. It's just what the marketplace dictates. I see the Celtics re-signed their young center, Robert Williams III, for $54 million for 4 years. Same thing for Wendell Carter Jr. on the Magic. He got $50 million for 4 years. And most importantly, how much Leon Rose paid Nerlens Noel. About $9 million a year, 2 years guaranteed, 1 year team option. He's going to make it really hard on Mitch, who I believe leads the Knicks for how many blocks in a single season. He's going to make it very hard, man, to tell Mitch, we're only going to give you $10 to $12 million a year. So them negotiations may be a bit tougher than what the fan base wants it to be. And Mitch is also going to have to be competing with Leon Rose's secret insurance policy, and that's Jericho Sims. And I was peeping that since draft night. Remember, the Knicks had signed Nerlens Noel to that 3-year deal, and they also opted in to Mitch's option, which was for just a measly, I believe, $1 million flat. So not only Mitch got underpaid, they paid the guy that sits behind him off the bench, and then they drafted another center. So just think about that. Mitch had to been thinking, yo, my contract was at the minimum the previous season. Now you guys for the first time had the option of paying me this summer. You didn't pay me. You opted in for the same contract again. You paid the guy behind me, and you drafted a center. So we also got to take in consideration what Mitch might be talking about, and we kind of seen a glimpse of how he's feeling about this whole situation, and that's through his family member, his uncle, which he created a social media account. I believe he created a Twitter account, and he got on there, and he was talking about how he loved the Knicks, but he wanted Mitch to have a bigger role on the team, especially offensively, and he's not afraid of getting his nephew out of there. Like I said, man, this social media stuff mixed in with these contracts, and what's up with all these uncles coming out of nowhere, kind of bargaining through social media, but all this shit is brand new, and it's amazing to see how these things play out for the first time ever, because this is like, it's almost like we're in a safari, man, just watching all this shit play out through social media, etc. And I'm telling you, man, like, just Mitch, this is going to be a tough negotiation to get Mitch back on this squad. The fan base is not going to like to hear that, but that's just the reality of it. But just in reference, this is exactly what his uncle said. Knicks do not believe in giving the ball to their bigs. I like the Knicks, but I can't wait to get my nephew out of there. And best believe that's a big jab towards Tibbs. We all know that a lot of the fan base is upset about his coaching, limited scope offensively at times. He seems stubborn, but we all know that's not going to change. And I believe the Knicks already made the announcement they're going to bring Tibbs back for another season. They're going to let him play out that 3rd year, as that seems like the new norm for the Knicks. Give out 5-year deals to coaches, and they barely last the 3rd year, but they still get paid out for all 5. They get that David Fizdale stimulus package. But at the end of the day, if Mitch wants a larger role than catching the basketball literally right in front of the hoop, it's going to be really difficult, because Tibbs has his ways, and we've seen him before pigeonhole guys like Obi Toppin to just standing in the corner. So Mitch does have a claim there that the fan base can visually see that really does happen with Tibbs kind of pigeonholing guys offensively or just limiting certain guys due to his lineup habits being the only reason. So Mitch is in a very advantageous position right now. I mean, the Knicks did have the option of extending him last summer, which they didn't do. But once again, there's a lot of things coming into play here. The coaching, we have other family members involved. Everyone's using social media to get, to get their propaganda out. This is going to be very, very tough negotiations.